Hello everyone, for math today we are going to take a look at some adding and subtracting questions, but this time our adding and subtracting questions aren't as easy as seeing just the numbers. This time we have word problems as well. So what we need to do is read a word problem, try and find out the important information in the word problem, and then solve what our adding or subtracting question is. So some of the important information that we would find in a word problem are the numbers. We need the numbers in a word problem so that we can figure out what we're adding and subtracting. And also there's some words that are important for us to remember so that we know that we're adding or that we're subtracting. Now I talked about them before, but let's remember them again. Now when we're adding, some of the important words to remember are in all, or together, or the total, or another one is finding the sum of something. So those are important key words that let us know when we're reading a word problem that we're adding in that word problem. But there's also some key words, some important words that tell us that we're subtracting in a word problem. So some of those important words would be what's left, how many more, what's the difference, or what remains. All of those are words that are important and that will tell us we're subtracting in a question. So I'm going to read a couple of questions for you, and I want us to decide together whether we'll be adding in that question or whether we'll be subtracting in that question. So my first question for you is this. Sam saw 32 birds, and then he saw 21 more. How many birds in total did Sam see? Remember, we need the important information, and that important information is the numbers. The two numbers I read were 32 and 21. Do you remember what I said at the very end? Do you think we are adding these two numbers together, or are we subtracting these two numbers? We are going to be adding these two numbers together because the key word that I said was how many birds do you see in total? Total is a word that tells us we're adding. So let's do that. We have 32 plus 21. If you would like to, you can use your base 10 box to solve this problem, but we can also just do it like it is right now. So remember, we always start with our ones column when we're adding. We can ignore the tens column for now. So the ones column says 2 plus 1. We know that 2 plus 1 is 3. The tens column says 3 plus 2. We know that 3 plus 2 is 5. So 32 plus 21 is 53. Sam saw 53 birds in total. The next question that I want to ask you is this one. Evan had 59 cents, but he spent 40 cents on a toy. How much money does he have left? Let's go back to the question and see if we can find out that important information. Remember, we're looking for if we're adding or subtracting and the two numbers that we're adding or subtracting. So Evan had 59 cents. That's one of our numbers. And he spent 40 cents, another one of our numbers. 40 cents. Should put the cent sign too. So he spent 40 cents. How much money does he have left? Left is a key word. Do you remember, was left a key word for adding or was left a key word for subtracting? We need to find out how much money he has left. We know he spent money, which means that we are subtracting. So we're going to do 59 minus 40. Take a look at our tens column first. We have 9 minus 0. We start with 9, we take away nothing. The answer is 9. So our ones column is completed. Our ones column is completed. Next, we're going to do our tens column. 5 minus 4. 5 minus 4 is 1, which means the 59 cents Evan started with, he spent 40 cents. Now he only has 19 cents left. Take out your textbooks and open up to page 147. On page 147, you're going to see some word problems. Try and read them on your own, but if you need to, ask mom or dad or an older brother or sister for some help reading the questions. What you're going to do is write the important numbers in your little tens chart here for you. Then you're going to put plus or minus in the little circle. Try and remember what those key words are and figure out if you're going to do some adding for this question or if you're going to do some subtracting for the question. Once you've done the ones, adding or subtracting, and then the tens, adding or subtracting, take the answer and write it on the line. So you're going to do that for the first page, and the next page is exactly the same thing. You're going to do the exact same thing. Okay? If you have questions, feel free to ask mom or dad, and if you still have questions, feel free to ask me.